Moving smarter, moving smarter. We're headed to the North Star State. Guys, let me tell you what. I got one more state to go and I'm knocking it off right after Minnesota. And that's Wisconsin. But for right now, let's stay in Minnesota. Smart Movers, if you're not already, head over to StrizzyReport.com to be a part of the Smart Movers Club. It's a weekly newsletter where I give you where to go, what to know, and what 100K could get you, plus 10 gems for wealth, health, and happiness. Mostly on the happiness side though, right? Like, for instance, next week we're going to focus on skilled trades. There has been an uptick in apprenticeships, programs for apprenticeships, incentivizing people to go in the trades. With AI coming in and swooping even white collar jobs, Wells Fargo doing a lot of layoffs. As you see, that the market is shifting. What could you do to build your skills up? What could you do to ensure that you're still valuable to society? And that's what the type of things, that's the type of things we release in the newsletter. We're also going to focus on too, and I think I'm going to do this in the next newsletter, is how not to get scammed when you're moving. There's a lot of companies out there that's sketchy, scammy. They want deposits up front. A lot of people, even on Craigslist, I don't know who still uses Craigslist, but they'll put up a nice picture. You're all surprised, like, wow, I could actually afford this beautiful mansion-looking property. It's probably a fake. So I want to help more people out with that too. So be a part of the Smart Movers Club, because you never know where we're going to go. But the only thing we're going to do is stay smart, guys. So Minnesota, why consider Minnesota? It's the number one state for quality of life. If you know what, there's a lot of number ones I've noticed, because I threw the report, where we pull the numbers, get all the reports, the data, then we check it thrice. However, there's a lot of states that saying, yeah, we're number one for this. We're number one for this. And then sometimes I'll buck up on a state that's saying we're number one for the same thing the other state's number one for. But actually, according to U.S. News and World Report, okay, it is media, but they're saying Minnesota is the number one state for quality of life. I don't know that. I'm not going to put a stamp on it. If you are in Minnesota, maybe you could help me put a stamp on that. But because you're watching this video, I don't know if you're trying to leave or not. So maybe you're not going to put a stamp on that. Okay. Minnesota is also top 5 in education and healthcare. Best public schools in the Midwest. I've seen that line before. I've seen that line, I think, with, you know what? I'm not even gonna fib here. I don't remember. But New Jersey's great with education. There's other states good with education. So top 5 in education and healthcare. Thriving economy. Unemployment is very low. It's below the national average. It's 2.7%. It's not as great as Utah. Utah, man, there's like no one that's without work there. But thriving economy here, according to the unemployment rate. More people are working. They're out there doing their thing. It's an outdoor paradise. There's 10,000 plus lakes, 22 million acres of forests. I had no idea. Progressive policies here. If you lean into the blue side, if you lean into the left, this might be the state for you, right? Paid family leave. I mean, that's not a lean to the left thing. That's just a good thing to have, paid family leave, right? But there's legal weed right here. There's abortion rights that if I don't agree with it. I'm going to be honest. I don't like to put my own biases in these shows. I just like to give you the straight up facts. But again, progressive policies here, if that's the sort of thing you're into. So who's moving there? What's the population? That's what we like starting off with. Population is 5.8 million. That's seen an increase, and they are net migration positive. Man, 28,000 a year. Going, staying. There are people fleeing, and I'm sure you could kind of tell why people are leaving. However, 28,000 people a year are coming and staying, plus 5% since 2020. They've seen an increase in the population. Where are they coming from? Take a guess. California. Midwest affordability. A lot of Californians, I'm noticing, I just put out a video that says Californians are actually finding greener grass elsewhere. And I give 5 states on where they're actually seeing the best results and ROI for their money. However, they're fleeing all the time, right? California is just losing residents. But Illinois is also a top state for people fleeing too. Don't get it twisted, because the high taxes, the crime, people don't want to deal with anymore. And that's just bottom line. But Florida and Texas coming here doesn't make sense to me. They're saying, though, that it's they're seeking stability. They're not worried really too much about the climate. Maybe they're leaning more to the left. I'm not sure where the Florida Texans come in at. But God damn it, if the taxes are better, if there's more stability, the jobs moving them, hey, what are you going to do? I'm going to go. The relocation reasons, you're looking at best work-life balance in the U.S. They're holding the #1 title for that, unless you stamp me something different in the comments. That's according to Forbes magazine. According to 1914 Fortune 500 headquarters that are sitting in the Minneapolis-St. Paul job market, that's telling you that there's a work-life balance there, right? 4 distinct seasons, and I think I'm the type that loves that. I love even, my favorite state's Tennessee, right? So I love it still because you still could see the trees change. You may have summer start a little earlier and it gets swampy, maybe linger around till late October, but you still kind of get that cold. You still could put on your coat, put on your gloves, and get bundled up. So I love that. So 4 distinct seasons for those who love snow and summer. Top ranked healthcare. They do have Mayo Clinic there, U of M Medical. So the people that are leaving, of course, think about it. Retirees, it's too cold. Arizona, Florida is where they're heading. Arizona's getting a lot of, I think Arizona's been top for retirees for a long time. However, that's changing the dynamic and the fabric now with a lot of younger people moving in. But Arizona still, between Arizona, Florida, South Carolina, still the top for retirees and snowbirds. And then think about it. Those that are conservatives. When I say that it's left leaning there, it's blue. It's like the 10,000 lakes they got there. They'd rather go to North Dakota and South Dakota. They get their kind of folks around. They kind of have that right-leaning mindset. So they get what they want. They go where they need to go to get it. All right, so Minnesota has more shoreline than California, Florida, and Hawaii combined. Whoa. I know California has about 900 miles of it. Florida is definitely less than that. But combined, if you count all its lakes, Minnesota will have more shoreline, okay? The Twin Cities Metro has the highest literacy rate. Of course, if you're in the top 5 of education, then you're going to have that also. All right, let's talk about cost of living. We're going to start with housing here. Minneapolis, median home price $375. That's seen a plus 6% year over year change. Positive urban revival going on there. Adena, $650 is the median home price. That's seen an increase. Got the top schools there. Rochester, 320, about average there, but it's also seen an 8% increase due to the Mayo Clinic boom in healthcare. Duluth, 280. Lake Superior, you got St. Cloud, 240 with the lowest kind of bigger areas, bigger markets. And that's even seen a 4% increase, but it is the most affordable in the state. And I'm not talking about, I'm sure there's little pockets of areas that you could get. Their median is a lot lower in the rural areas, but we're not talking about that. We're going to pop out the biggest areas here for this show. All right, so $1,400 rent in St. Cloud to about $2,500 downtown Minneapolis. So if you want the urban revival, if you want the culture, if you want the food, the restaurants, the nightlife, you're paying for that as well. Mortgage, $2,200 a month, 4-bedroom home in the first ring suburb. That's what you're looking at. Taxes, income tax, they have a progressive 5.35% to 9.85%. It's high. But offsets with services. What kind of services we'll see? Property taxes is higher. I mean, it's 1.1% average, lower than Wisconsin or Illinois. So you'll see that. And Wisconsin, again, is the last state that I'm going to be doing. That rounds out the 50th state. So once I pull that report, we'll see what Wisconsin got to offer, So I didn't know Wisconsin was higher than that in property taxes. But, of course, Illinois, we know that. Sales tax is 6.875%. Clothing is exempt, though. Hidden perks, you got $1,750 tax credit for renters. So that's a tax credit they get on a yearly basis. No tax on Social Security here. Unemployment, as we mentioned, is 2.7%. Labor shortages in many fields. Healthcare, tech, finance, manufacturing are the top industries. Mayo Clinic, 3M, Best Buy, U.S. Bank, Wells Fargo, Ecolab, General Mills, respectively. Software engineer can make anywhere on average $115K there. That's competitive with Chicago, Chi-Town. Trades worker, high union participation goes on there. Red flags, though: winter impacts construction and tourism. Rural population decline outside of metro areas. Lifestyle, what do we have? Outdoors, arts and food. Juicy Lucy Burgers. What is that? Is it great? You tell me if you're there. Scandinavian treats they go for. They got the Walk Arts Center, Princess Paisley Park. They got Superior Hiking Trail, cross-country skiing. They got it all outdoors when it comes to that. Cons, though, man, between December and February, I don't think you're going to want to be there. Below 20 degrees Fahrenheit going on there. Minnesota is too nice, maybe. They're polite, but hard to make deep friendships. What's going on there? Why is that even there? Is that true? You got some snub noses. You're nice, but you're not nice at the same time. Crime. Minneapolis is improving, but still higher than suburbs. Safest city is Edina, Plymouth, Woodbury. Politics, of course. Blue state. Legal weed since 2023. Abortion protected in states' constitution. If you're going to go there, these are the top 5 places to go. You got Edina, North Loop, which is the Minneapolis area, urban chic. Rochester, Stillwater, and Duluth. Okay? Think twice if you're heading to Ferguson. They're still recovering from what? 2020? And Bemidji. It's very remote. The damn pronunciation's remote to me as well. So yes, if you want top schools in healthcare, if you can handle the real winters that, that could probably send Boston backpacking, up. If you work in healthcare, tech, or finance, but if you hate the cold, don't even go there. If you prefer low taxes in general, don't go there. So that sauna culture, yeah, you'll be in there. If you need year-round sun, you might want to head to Colorado with 300 days sunny over there. All right. The sources today: Department of Revenue, Minneapolis Fed, economic reports, U.S. News, FBI. Again, guys, you're a smart mover. And even if you're not moving, so I was starting to think about this with the business, and I'm like, man, it's really as a need, right? This company and this product and this project that I got and this offer that I got, helping people move and relocate and think differently about relocation, think differently even about the state that they're in, as well as think differently and strategically about investments, right? And I'm like, well, is it going to be as need if the person isn't moving right now? Do they even need the company? If the person isn't moving for 3 years or never thought about moving, so I'm thinking, no, I really want to make the Smart Movers Club newsletter for anyone that just wants to think more strategically in life, right? A lot of it comes with big moves in our lives, big purchases, a home, starting a family, going back to school, going to school. Should I go to school? What should I go for? So all those things are kind of strategic. And when we find the root cause of a lot of the problems that we have or we face individually in our life, it's because we made the wrong choices. We didn't look at the stats. We didn't look at the facts. So it's about wealth. It's about health. It's about happiness. And it's all about all around being strategic. So Please join the Smart Movers Club. It's my joy to send out that email every Sunday morning before your coffee is brewed, I think. Not even before it's cold, before it's brewed. And you could sit with it and learn more about the states, learn more about the USA, and also become smart at the same time. I appreciate you listening. Enjoy the next video. The last one is the 50th state, Wisconsin. This is number 49, and I appreciate you watching. Enjoy your day.